The foundation of lore in Alchemy of Souls has recently been upended by the story of Jang Uk and Naksu. In the most recent episodes, we've come to understand that the established lore isn't what it seems, especially when it comes to Master Lee, who seemingly just knows things and is a fount of revelations. Let's start with Hansu. In our last lore video, this level of skill was described as having unknown limits, powers that could not be measured, or at least were an overall mystery. But thanks to part 2, we've learned some new things about what a mage capable of Hansu can do. It's apparent from the show's most recent dives into exposition that Hansu is the realm of the soul. Master Lee reveals that with Hansu, he is able to manipulate a body's soul energy. In his case, he is able to revive a fallen Mudok using the energy of Naksu, leaving Buyeon's soul and divine powers dormant, thus giving Buyeon the features and face of Naksu. He tells Hogyung that once Naksu's memories had fully returned, the body would give way to Naksu and Buyeon's soul would cease to exist. Enter Soyul. In a shocking twist, Master Lee reveals the opposite, that once Naksu's memories returned and Buyeon's divine powers were restored, Naksu's soul would be ejected from the body. At this point, we're inclined to believe Master Lee's revelation here, as he could have embellished the truth when speaking to an erratic Hogyung.
Jang Uk has the most difficult decision to make in all of this, as someone capable of Hansu. Just like Master Lee, he would be able to purge the soul in the body. The decision is whether or not to keep Buyeon's soul or Naksu's soul, with the implication that the other would be condemned or lost. Could there be another Master Lee revelation in the last 2 episodes that reveals Hansu could also split a soul and manipulate it into another body? One of many theories in our comment section mentioned the very genesis of Master Lee. He had shifted his soul into a dead boy. With the power of Hansu, Jang Uk may be able to do the same thing, while purging Naksu's soul from Jin Buyeon's body, transfer it into a dead body. Which is where our original theory comes into play. Naksu's original body is not lost, and has been preserved by either Soho or Sungrim, thus making the decision easy for Jang Uk. Give Buyeon her body back, and put Naksu back into her original body. Now let's move on to the blood parasite. Originally used by Jin Uk, the blood parasite was a form of sorcery that extracted the blood essence of someone, presumably in this case one of Jin blood, and was injected into another body to give that person a core of energy resembling the blood that was extracted. But it comes with a cost. As Soi transfers the blood parasite to Soyul to save him, she quickly finds out it is slowly killing him, using the medicine Jinmu gives her in order to keep her under his control. But he never took the medicine. The blood parasite continually feeds on Soyul's core of energy to the point where he would eventually run out. Thankfully, there was a way to separate the blood parasite from his core of energy, the Firebird.
Not much is known about this powerful artifact hidden inside Jinyoon, but there are some educated guesses we can make as to its function. The current threat to Deo rests in the earthenware resembling the Firebird, which aims to cause yet another drought. We can use this to determine one facility of the artifact, the sapping of energy. The Firebird is also used to separate the blood parasite from Soyul's core of energy. Thus, another function of the Firebird is apparent, the separation of energy. As Buyeon hangs onto Soyul's energy by way of the water wick, which we'll discuss shortly, the Firebird's energy separates the core of energy from the parasite, allowing the Crown Prince to destroy it. So what do we have so far? The Firebird can sap the energy from its surroundings, and it can also separate energy from each other. A theory, as with all things ice and fire, is that it could potentially be used to separate the blood parasite of Naksu from Buyeon's core of energy. More on that in a bit, because we have to discuss the water wick. Soham reveals the water wick to our group in an attempt to save Soyul. He reveals that the water wick is used by the Lanterns of Life at Soho Fortress, which is responsible for keeping the fire lit. Should the energy inside the water wick dissipate, the lantern's fire dies. And so our group uses the water wick to house Soyul's core of energy, in conjunction with the Firebird to separate the blood parasite from the water wick, thus saving Soyul. Now let's go back to the Firebird. Could we describe Naksu's presence within Buyeon's body or core of energy as a blood parasite? Could the water wick house the core of energy of Buyeon, and with the Firebird, be separated from the blood parasite of Naksu? This could be the case. If the water wick is used, and the Firebird at the same time, they may be able to separate the two souls from one another. In comes the Ice Stone. You gotta love the theme of ice and fire here. Using the newly separated souls of Jang Uk's Ice Stone in addition to Hansu, he is able to shift the souls into their respective bodies. The only way this theory works, however, is if Naksu's original body is still intact, somewhere. Or, hear us out, it's transferred to the tortoise. We're just kidding. So we have a potential solution here. The power of fire to separate the souls and the power of ice to soul shift into their bodies. It's promising, so we'll have to see in the last 2 episodes if Naksu's body is still in place. But last, certainly not least, geekdom.
The prison within Chembogwan, holding those who had once performed sorcery. This prison was made by Jin Solran. It contains wraiths and other dangers alluded to by Jinmu. Buyeon finds herself in Gido, trying to defend Jinyuwon from having its control wrested from its hands by Jinmu. Now she must face whatever horrors lie in wait. There are 3 things we are curious about in this place. The blue stone within the corpse, the yin and yang jade calls to each other, and Jang Uk can enter it. We don't currently know the rules of limits of this world, but Jang Uk entering it brings with it multiple questions. Could Naksu's body perhaps be running around Gido? One thing's for sure, these revelations all have some integral part in the endgame of Alchemy of Souls. The Firebird, the Ice Stone, Gido, the Turtle, the Blue Stone, and the Yin and Yang Jade. How it all shakes up and pans out is up in the air. In the end, we believe Jang Uk will use the Firebird and the Ice Stone's powers to separate the souls of Naksu and Buyeon, saving them both. Where those souls go remains to be seen.
Now that we've got the lore updated and established, let's look at one final theory that has us all shedding tears of joy and sadness. The fate of Jang Uk and Naksu is ultimately wrapped up in the fate of Sogyung and Jin Soran. This story is a never-ending cycle between these 2 lovers whose destinies were intertwined but never meant to be together. Jang Uk and Naksu reliving the fate of Sogyung and Solran, destined to repeat their trajectories, star-crossed lovers that in the end depended on each other but ultimately ended apart, and the crux of their destinies tied up in a neat bow this show is calling Words from the Heart. But what do you guys think about all of these theories and what could happen and what kind of decision Jang Uk will make in the end? Leave all of your theories for the last 2 episodes of Alchemy of Souls, Light and Shadow, in the comments section below. But that'll do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like it, and hit the bell icon to turn on notifications so you know when we post new videos. But as always, this is what we're watching this Sunday. Get ready to cry your hearts out. The last 2 episodes. We'll see you guys in the next one.